I'm shielding you guys so you can't see the project that's already done and right behind me. Otherwise, my name is Sam, welcome to the channel. We're going to do something in the house, so let's go. I'd always had it in my mind that I was going to use a piece of Baltic birch plywood for this desktop, but it didn't occur to me, well, I didn't realize until just now when I got in the workshop, I don't have a piece of Baltic birch that large. So, had to get creative. Over in my scrap wood pile, I found this. It is an old TV entertainment center. I saved this because this is solid red oak wood. It's glued up from several boards, but it is solid wood and a pretty big piece. So I just drug it out of the scrap pile, and it is within 1/4 inch of the dimensions I need. In the correct way, meaning I just need to trim it a little bit and we're good. The only problem with this is it is not flat. It's got a little bit of a curve to it. I think I can get around that with fastening it very well in the house. And then I've checked and it's not too bad of a curve where I think it's going to really affect things. This is just a simple desk build, and considering how much lumber costs and considering I have this and I've been saving it for a while and it'll get it out of my workshop and everything else we can think of, I think I'll go with this. Alright, all the dust has extricated the workshop. See you later, dust. So, I am 99% sure I don't like this wood as it is. And I'm 99% sure that I don't want to leave it plain. However, it is going to be easier to paint this in the house in a dust-free environment where the paint already is and we can kind of roll it on. It'll also be easiest to paint it after it's been installed because I'm going to have to drive screws through this and then add wood filler and all that kind of stuff. And in the case that it actually does turn out awesome, I probably shouldn't paint it right off the bat anyway. So what I'm going to do is apply a couple of coats of shellac just as a little bit of a wood sealer, and to give me the opportunity and Angela the opportunity to see whether or not we like it as it looks in our living room, or if we want to go ahead and paint it anyway. We can always paint this later, but we only have one chance to try it with a clear coat finish and the old repurposed wood look. So we'll go ahead and do that, we'll give it a shot, and then, like I said, we can paint it later if we want to. This is the part where I regret doing this on top of my table saw and not putting something down. Oh boy. And this is a lot. This is too much. Don't do what I just did. I'll hang it over the edge and let it drip this way. Way too much shellac. Don't ever do what I did. This is terrible. Have I said that already? All the professionals out there who are watching amateur channel are screaming, but it's alright. You're a professional, you already know it. If I'm an amateur and you're an amateur and you're looking and watching me do this, you're learning. Wow, I won't do what Sam just did. It's all good. This is not what you're supposed to do with shellac. This is what you do with shellac when you apply a truckload on it. Just walk away. I'm gonna let this thing dry down here and think about what in the world it ever did wrong to be subjected to me in my workshop and a shellac bath. While that thing dries, I'm gonna go into the house and start painting the cabinet and cleaning up the area and doing what work I can while this shellac evaporates, cures, and otherwise hopefully disappears. Welcome to the house and welcome to the living room. I don't think there's been a video in here in a very long time. In fact, the last video that was in this part of the home was when these bookshelves were being built, and that was several years back. I have dug through and thankfully found some paint in our house. With as much projects as we do, as many DIY things, and well, just living in a fixer-upper, we tend to have various things on hand at all times. What I'm going to do with this paint is go ahead and paint the paint with paint. I'm going to paint with paint and paint. I'm going to go ahead and paint the cabinet doors down below. There are some spots that need addressed. These cabinets were previously taped closed way back when the boys were little and little kids crawling around and getting into things. These doors were taped shut as a temporary thing to, you know, keep the kids out. Well, when we pulled the tape off of them later, it pulled the paint off as well. This is the cheap built-in cabinet unit that came in the home way back in 1988. In addition to that, if you notice, you might be a little jealous, we have a home stereo. Oh yeah, that's a cassette player. AM, FM stereo too. The cool thing is, it actually still works. It's got a little ugly paint on it, but that's going to be hidden by the things that are going to be added in that space, so I'm not worried about it. Plus, it's kind of a cool novelty to have around. The Retro Sam wants to take that radio unit out, take it apart, clean it up, and reinstall it, and upgrade the speakers. But I don't know if I'll ever get around to doing that. Alrighty, I got my paint. Let's get the brush. Let's plop on the floor and paint some cabinet doors. The paint is all dry, and that's good enough for now. We're about to cover this up, so I'm not going to be super picky about the paint job. Plus, I mean, look at it. We're just making it look good enough and getting rid of the obvious horrible blemishes to move ahead with this project and just get it done in time. What I'm going to do next is go ahead and grab the tabletop or desktop, bring it over, and install it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I'll probably just attach it with screws, but we'll figure it out as we go. Let's go. That takes care of the top mounting, securing it to the cabinet below, and that is very strong. Those screws bit in there very well. I'm not worried about that going anywhere. There is a little bit of a squeak left, and that's where it's hanging out and kind of flexing near the wall. It is squeaking and rubbing on the wall. For that, I have a shelf bracket. It's one of the ones I make. I'm going to go ahead and install it on the wall and let it support the desktop as it hangs out over here on the right hand side. I won't have this luxury to put one on the left because it is totally floating, but this will be good And that's about as good as I can do unless I put a leg on this thing, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to try and get away with just a shelf bracket supporting it for now, or forever. I don't have a wall stud to attach this bracket into, so I'm going to be using the drywall anchors. I'm going to hold it in place where I would like it to be. I'm going to use a pencil and put 3 dots on my wall. This is going to correlate to the wall anchors I have. And I'm going to make those dots a little bit darker now so I can see them better. These anchors are easily driven in using a Phillips bit drill or even a screwdriver. You just put them right at the point where you want them to start and slowly twist them in. They will drill themselves in automatically. Those in place. Now I just put my screws in my bracket, line them up, and drill them in. The top is all secured down and that bracket is in place and makes it really strong and stiff. Given you wouldn't want to sit on this, but for its purpose and intended use, that's perfectly fine. What I'm going to do next is use a Forstner bit to drill a hole through the top, through the old cabinet case, and down into the bottom for us to run our wires for the things going on top of the desk. There is an outlet inside the cabinet down there, I guess for the original radio or home stereo, and that's really handy so I can run the wires through there, out of the way, and just not see everything. So, with the new top put in place and everything, let's put a hole in it. Actually, no, let me go get the computer monitor, unbox it, set it up, see how that thing looks and how the base is, to see if I want the hole in the center or in the corner. Let's check that before I mess something up. Alright, I'm going to put the hole in the center because this monitor is going to stay in the center and it'll just be nice to have the wires and everything back there. Plus there's enough room for me to mount the hole, drill the hole and everything. So that's what we're going to do. That desk space is looking really nice, although I think it's missing one little thing. How about a little bit of lighting? Much better. That is a custom lamp that I made several years back. I took a jigsaw, tool as you see, took it apart, took out the motors and wiring, and wired it up with a light switch and everything so it could be a desk lamp. Now it finally has a home because it's lived in my workshop for years. I think it's a lot happier here now too. So the last thing for this whole setup is my desk chair. For that, I've got to wait. Elijah wants to help put it together. In fact, he wanted to see if he could do it all himself. So I'm waiting for him to get home from Mimi's house to let him do that. After that, it'll be done and I'll get to show it off to you guys. sitting comfy in a chair, and that is all thanks to you. You did a great job putting this chair together.
Well, thank you.
You did something that a lot of adults themselves can't do, or think they can't do.
What?
And you're only how old?
8.
8. I'm liking this. You're going to get to put all sorts of stuff together for me. I am done with assembly. Seriously though, he did great. He only asked maybe 2 questions on that entire chair assembly. Otherwise, he read the instructions, he picked out the parts, he put it all together, and you just did great. You'd be very, very proud. Very proud. And when I'm not sitting in it, feel free to sit in it when you want.
Okay.
As long as brothers not, don't fight over it.
Yeah.
Try not to, at least.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, thank you.
Well guys, we are all done. This was not a very hard project to do. I did do it all in one day, mostly by myself. Elijah helped with the chair, which was awesome. Angela gave me some motivation and encouragement there at the end to push through and clean up my mess in the living room, which I did with her help a little bit. I mean, I'm not perfect, I guess. Ain't that right? I do like this space. This desk is designed to be a video editing station for me here inside the house. Up until this point, my only place to video edit was in my recliner, in my chair, with the laptop. Otherwise, I could use my home office, which is down in my workshop. So that worked okay a little bit, but it always meant that I was not here inside the house with the family. Given how much time I spend video editing, both for this channel and my other one, it's nice to see the family every once in a while. At least now I have a nice space that is ergonomic with a nice comfy spin around twirly chair, a nice big desk surface, a cool little jigsaw lamp, and I'm still in the living room and in here where everybody can see me and realize that I'm still around. As you saw, I did decide to leave the cabinets down below as is. The thought crossed my mind whether or not I should take the doors out and open it up for foot space or do something different. But honestly, just keeping this simple, making it an easy one-day thing, not getting into a big renovation or tear out was most important. That being said, we do have some renovation and tear out content coming up. We're getting ready to start that project, so if that's your cup of tea, you are going to enjoy a bunch of big old cups of that tea in the near future. We did want to get this done first because it's kind of a low bar and easy thing. Builds up our confidence that, yep, we can work in the house again and it will all be okay. Just kidding. We are ready to rock and roll on the next big project. We are eager to get it done, probably as much as you guys are eager to see it be done. So stay with us. If you have any questions or comments, leave them for us down below. We love to read them, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Are you guys still here? I can't edit the video if you're still here in the video. I need you to... Bye. I need you to exit the camera so we can start the video. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.